Our next speaker is Sebastien Wen. Sebastien is the 2014 Canadian Individual Youth Slam Champion, the 2014 Vancouver Youth Slam Champion, and the 2013 UBC Slam Champion. He has been busy. His work has been featured in journals including Vallum and Arc. He was the member of the 2013 Calgary Slam Team and the 2014 Vancouver Youth Slam Team. But mostly, Sebastien thinks of himself as a lip-smart, wisecracking coyote, hungry for sparks.
Okay.
I'm not saying that well. I'll let Sebastien take over.
Leave it to me.
Yes.
Hi guys, how's it going? Good? All right, cool. I was honored to be invited to speak here before I showed up, and now I'm even more overwhelmed with a feeling of gratitude and a really deep excitement to be here, and I'm really touched by all the stories that I've heard so far, and I think this is such a great idea for a festival. So yeah, thank you for Anna for having me out here. I'm just going to do two poems. The first poem is about story, just story in general, and then the second poem will be about my heritage. So. Greetings. I am a robot from the year 2014, here to inform you that all us lousy poets and storytellers are growing obsolete. We are a near extinct species. I fear soon we will be cut out of the equation altogether. First, they got George Carlin, tied him to the back of their truck and skinned him as a trinket. And I don't even want to talk about what they did to Leonard Cohen. That's right. You can find his husk dragging itself around on its hind legs to stadiums full of tourists with jumbo popcorns, and one of them says, "Play hallelujah." I fear soon there will be no young people. That's right. They journal the jazz out of their blood. An engineering student tells me, personally, I don't really get why we gotta learn literature. I don't really see why we have to learn art. It's entertainment, maybe. But even then, I'd rather watch a movie. And by movie, I mean TV. And by TV, I mean The Walking Dead. I tell him, I am watching The Walking Dead right now. And when I say the status quo is in democracy, they say cliche. When I say this is my vulnerability, they say navel gazing. When I say this is all I have to give you, they say I'd like a medium latte with so much glucose that I could use this beverage to pickle you. You with your silly big ideas, you with your quaint flair and your novelty, you want fag, hippie, hipster, hobo, stoner, we the hard drive reject you. You know, at night, I pray for the bombs to you assholes. I pray we're all standing around in nuclear winter and somebody says, gee, if only there was a door into another individual's experiences to make our community sharper and more loyal. And then I would put peace into the lips of the rich boy from Chicago clapping politely at my roadside freak show. I'd hollow the socks off the doctor talking down to my hooligan blood sport. I'd give you the down and dirty of my journey. I'd give you the motherfuckers and the daughter killers. I'd give you a flash of Red and Euripides. I'd talk so good that together we would teach the crows to sing forgiveness. The mountains would kneel before us, and all of us would become one with the ocean, screaming at the sands of time that together we are one. So cut your electricity, please. Reconnect my speakers. I am done with all this dust and silence. I am done with being a fox on the run. Listen, I am begging you to be present with me around the fire, because this is all I have to give you. Thank you so much. Sweet. Sorry if I'm a little loopy. I was watching a YouTube clip today of my friend, and when the audience applauded, I started clapping alone in my room. So I might be a lunatic. Yeah, no, it's really exciting to be able to think about my culture and where I come from. My mother is first generation Irish. She was born in Dublin. And my father is Belgian Chinese, and he was raised in Canada. And I think, like a lot of people talked about, the extent of adversity that I've faced has been limited to none. But what I've got from these people and their stories is, which is so great, is they have to be tough. And they pass that on for you. They teach you how to be brave. And I get to grow up very privileged, but with those philosophies and with those strengths. Because my mother, when she moved to Canada, she didn't become a Canadian citizen for more than a decade because she didn't want to swear allegiance to the Queen. And yeah, and my father, I like thinking about the permutations of history, you know, like how we got here. I mean, all of us do, I think, but I guess my grandmother on my father's side, her parents didn't want her to marry a Chinese man. They were really, really against it. And so I think kind of against all odds, I like to think sort of romantically and perhaps foolishly that in a way that's kind of being a product of love. So I'm really grateful for that and the strength of those people. So okay, one last poem. Before I do that, I need your help for a second. When I say poetry, you say rocks. Poetry! Rocks! Poetry! Rocks! Poetry! Rocks! Okay. For some reason I can't explain, I am stuck to my Irish blood. Who knows how many of those stories got under my skin and stayed? Cuchulainn, Setanta, how they made a man a dog, Usheen and Tionanog, the land where you don't grow old. How Fintan, an ordinary fish, ate 9 hazelnuts and fell into the well of wisdom. I will tell you about them someday, but this is my story. So my ex-girlfriend comes to me with her hands on her hips and says, "Boy, you are not Irish. Not really. Your father was Belgian Chinese, you were born in New York, you were raised in Canada, and only half of your culture is this thing that you squawk about like a redneck that's seen an alien." It's true, my father's father was Chinese, and I picture that too. Tracer bullets leaking across the sky like honey in Hong Kong during World War II, beauty and death giving tongue to each other, him checking out the colors by the windows. His mother pulls him back and he falls. But see, for me, it's always been Ireland. There's something about that sound. There's something about that place where generation after generation has stayed that makes me who I am. So for you, Mom, here's my howl. And I want all of you guys to howl with me here in 3, 2, 1. It leaks through the thick flush of the ground, the fatty earth that drips with mystery, my mother's howl. It has echoed across oceans for more years than there are in all the trees of a forest where no man treads. So how can I hear this sound? What ghost of noise still haunts me from the old country? How do I survive, thrive? My mother's bones and her mother's bones come from the mother whose voice makes us tremble silver against a sky so rich with rain. Endless images, each more vivid than the last, and legends that wrap themselves around my veins that fill me with the sound that Seamus told me about. My mother's howl is 1,000 fist fighters. Because every color of skin has had their tangle with desperation and shed their blood in that ring. And her music, like the taste of a ripe starry sky with the crisp smoked photographs of the feminists in line with their right to vote, fought and won long before the United States ever learned that kind of grace. You see, they were a country of poverty and poetry. A stomping rhythm in every step along the streets with a pride so bloated and glorious that they could rip the wind out of the colonials. So I see her, fur, wet and bristled, hungry, honed to vicious bones and skin scarred, eyes glinting a razor black, paws dipped into the grass, the underdog called Ireland, jaws opened into a howl. So thousands of miles away, I howl back towards that tiny drop of land, and I am grateful for who I am. Howl with me again, please. Ah! Thank you guys so much. Have a terrific evening.